Do you see me? Hello?
I don't see you. It's loading. I see you.
Hi. Do you guys see me? Can you hear me? Hello? Hi there. So I'm just hi there. So I'm just actually I think we're getting a call. Is it an important call? Okay, we're getting a call. It's an important call. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just leave it on here and I'm going to go ahead and take that call, but I will be back at 6, okay? And you can always send me an email to get an address if you want to. I mean, don't feel pressured about any of that. I mean, if you don't feel like doing that, please don't feel like you have to, but that would be nice if you wanted to. That would be very nice. But anyway, like I was saying, well, thank you, Creative. I appreciate that. But yeah, like I was saying, I am going to be able to start making more videos. Something I wanted to address about my video that I posted today, I actually pre-recorded that, and I recorded that before this happened. I can't remember exactly when, but I recorded it probably Friday morning before this happened, because I was getting a whole bunch of videos recorded for this week then. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I was in my normal mood and happy and bubbly, and that's not to say that I'm not happy right now. It's just I'm stressed too, and that can be difficult, and I'm a little weepy. like like at one point, like when she first got there, I woke up in the middle of the night and I just had this silly idea in my head that like maybe she was too cold and she didn't have enough blankets, and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and it just I ended up getting up super early and needing to read, and then I took a nap later on. But yes, really crocheting is keeping my mind busy. That's for sure. That is absolutely true. Crocheting has helped, and making videos is going to help too. And I had mentioned that I was going to be putting some more stuff up in my store. I have not been able to get that done in the meantime. Like I said, I thought that I was going to be able to do that this weekend, but I had to focus on what's going on. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking at them right now, or they're on my table. So I will be able to update my Etsy store with that. And like I said, we'll be able to get some videos out, so you guys will be able to see a new dye video, and the cardigan. We'll get that finished, and I'll post a pattern for the crochet along. And so I'm really looking forward to that. So that said, does anybody have any questions for me? Any yarn related questions? Any kind of questions that you might want? Yeah, it is terrifying to not have that control. It really is, being able to kind of surrender that to somebody else, and also facing the concept that um you're just not equipped to handle that. I mean, you want to be equipped to handle everything, and there's certain things that we have to turn over to the professionals. And being in the field myself, it's I have that perspective, and I know that that's not a reflection of anything negative about me. I know that that's the reality of it. She needs that intensive care that we can't provide her at home, and she was already seeing a therapist, and she was already taking some meds for some of her more serious symptoms and everything. But yeah, hi Cheryl. Um, Yeah, so just to repeat for those of you who didn't hear before, one of my children had a mental health crisis on Friday. I didn't want to be quiet about it because I don't think that's something to be ashamed of. I think that we should be able to confront mental health issues. And I just wanted to say that my child is right now in a hospital and will not be able to get out for possibly another 10 days. She just needs more intensive care than we were able to provide. And I'm glad that she's in a safe place. But it's also kind of hard and everything. And I also wanted to share that we will be no shame in it. No, not at all. I'm glad she is too. I know I know that there are so many situations where people don't take that seriously. And I'm just glad that it's taken seriously with her. Um, eh, I know that she's lonely and she wants to come home and all of that, but at the same time, she's got to stick it out. We are going to have a family therapy session on Zoom, I think, tomorrow. So we're going to be able to talk to her and her therapist and everything, and me and Greg will be able to get a better idea of what the plan is. So that's good too. But yeah, again, I'll be able to start putting out videos. It's something that I want to do. Getting back to my usual routine is probably going to help me a lot and going to help me focus. It's just this week, and I was a total mess. I'm sure you guys can understand. So again, I really, really appreciate you guys. So yeah. Yeah, I know. I know I'm doing the right thing. Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's hard. Yeah, it is with the and also she was very scared because some of the other children there have different kinds of mental health issues, and that can look scary to her. And I just explained that they're going through their own stuff. Some of the children there are going to be there long term, and she's just there for acute treatment, and that they probably feel just as lonely and isolated as she does. And if she doesn't want to interact with them, that's okay. But that she's got to focus on herself and all of that. It's just heartbreaking. But squirrel sandwich, I love you. Every time I see you make a comment, it always makes me laugh. So I just wanted to tell you you brighten my day. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to share all of that with you guys. Um, just in case anybody hasn't heard, one of my children had a mental health crisis, and we had to put her in a hospital. She's going to be there for about 10 days, and so that's what was going on Friday. That's why I haven't posted any videos and all of that. Yes, I want to have all the answers, but I know that I don't, and she needs to know that too. She needs to know that yes, I'm a good person to talk to, but that there are other people that are might be more appropriate in some situations too. So yeah, I really hope, yeah, I really hope that she's gonna come out of this so much better. So much better. It's a process, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to post my videos and all of that. Yes, she was able to bring a book and a stuffy, and she picked her favorite stuffy, so that was good. So it was really nice that she was able to do that, and we actually bought her some special slippers before she went so that she would have some house shoes to wear in addition to her tennis shoes. So we made sure that we made sure that she had everything she needed and all of that. So yes, we've covered that, and right now we're focused on putting together a nice celebration for when she gets home. Different people in the family are sending gifts and well wishes, and we've gotten a couple of things for her that I'm sure she's gonna love. And we're gonna do a big welcome home party and just celebrate her for being so brave and so strong. Like, because everybody with any kind of mental health issue is brave and strong every minute of the day. I'm sure you guys know, for those of you who've experienced it and for those of you who've observed it. Um, but anyway, I didn't mean to make this so much about that issue. I did want to talk on it, definitely. Because again, like I've said earlier, I do not want this to be stigmatized. I don't want to hide behind this. Like, I'm not ashamed of it. I don't think anybody should be ashamed of something like this happening in their family. And the more people talk about this, the better able the world is to handle it, to be able to feel comfortable talking about these kinds of things. So anyway, I'm 36 minutes in. Is there anything at all that you guys want to ask me or talk about that's maybe? Yes, we do. We have another child, and yes, we we have been working with him as well. He's missing his sister, and we're making sure that he's getting some special attention as well. We've been talking to him regularly. On the first night, he spent the night in our room because he was just really, really down. Hi Denise. So yeah, I'm just gonna say this one more time, okay? So I just don't feel like repeating it another time. Um, the mental health. I'm sorry. The issue with my family um is that one of my children had a mental health crisis on Friday, which led to needing to admit her into a mental health facility. She's going to be there for about 10 days, and it really shook us up as a family. And I wasn't ready to talk about it this weekend, but I wanted to go ahead and hop on and do a live here to let you guys know that I'm not ashamed about it. I think that this should be talked about. I think that people need to know that this is a hi Ray. Sorry guys, Ray's one of my really good friends. So it's not that I'm not excited for all the other people. It's just hi Ray. Oh. But anyway, I was just going to say I'm talking about this because I think it's important to yes, I will answer that question. But yeah, just to finish off, I think it's important to destigmatize these kinds of issues so that we are able to, as a community, as humankind, be able to be more open to talking honestly and openly about this stuff so that it can be taken care of better. Okay, so where do I keep all the yarn? So I have tubs of yarn. I think what are they? Are they 40-gallon, Greg? He's like, I think. He doesn't know. I believe that they're 40-gallon tubs, and I put all of my yarn that is going into my mystery boxes in those, and I organize them. I organize them by color. And those are the more higher end ones. I always keep a sachet of cedar in each one of them so that it'll smell nice and fresh and all of that. My personal stash I keep in my closet. I have a few shrink wrap bags that I have kept some of my stuff where I've gotten a whole lot of it and I want to use it to make a really big project, but I'm just not ready to use it yet. I'll just put it in one of those vacuum seal bags, and that's how I store that. And then I have 2 of those hanging shelves. Greg, say hi. Greg's here. He's just not talking. Yay, there he is. So yeah, I have 2 hanging shelves. They're like a canvas bag that hangs down, and there's little shelves in it. And I keep the yarn that I'm more likely to use like soon in that. I also have a small bookcase that is for my yarn, and then I also put all of the supplies that I need to make sure that I have, all my boxes and my return labels and all of that for my Etsy store. So yeah, vacuum seal bags, and hanging shelves. I just have two. Oh, and I also use over the door shelves for my office. I'm right now in my office, and it's just a smaller room off of our master bedroom. So I keep most of my yarn in the master bedroom closet, and yes, we have enough room for clothes. But I have a lot of over the door. Let's see, one, two, three. Yeah, I have three over the door, um, um, hanging baskets, like the kind that you would get for a nursery, even. And so I put yarn in there too. I typically kind of use that more as decoration for seasonal yarn, but that still, I mean, that still is, you know, part of the yarn that I'm going to use. Usually usually the yarn that I'm going to use is visible to me. But yes, Ray, I'm with Ray. I also have tubs, and I keep the yarn that I'm going to be putting in mystery boxes on my Etsy store. I think Greg can go ahead and give you a link to that if you want to check that out. Um, that's where I keep that. I don't know, Ray. Do you have a channel yet? I didn't think that you did yet, but maybe not. Ray sent me a beautiful shawl, and I featured it. I showed it to you guys in my mystery box Monday, not today, but last Monday. Oh, and he does take commissions. I put his email address in the description. So if you want to get a hold of Ray, if you have a commission, or if you just want to see his work, you can look at last week's Mystery Box Monday. It's a Kramer yarn mystery box. And if you want to see that, that's Ray. That's the Ray right there. He's here with us. So yeah. Maybe we can get him on YouTube eventually. So yeah, did anybody else have any? Oh, one thing that I didn't mention, I will use yarn of all weights, but I do not like weight 6 or 7 as much. I just don't work with it as much. It's weight 7's a little bit too big for me. I like using the huge hooks and everything. I get frustrated with it, and it's not a fun experience when I do that. So so that's what I do. Hi guys. All right guys, so I think that I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up real soon. Um how do I crochet with the smaller weights? Well, first off, I use hooks that have really nice grips on them. That really makes a big difference, and I don't even pay a whole lot for them. They're just the ones on if you go to Amazon and you just do a search for crochet hooks for arthritic hands, you can find the hooks with the big grips on it. Yes, it can be painful, and I do identify with that. I do have flare ups sometimes when I work with smaller yarns, but it's just making sure you, like, the best practices in my mind is to make sure that you have a the correct hook size, because that really does help. um Making certain that you have a pattern for it that's appropriate to that weight. For example, one time I tried to make a poncho out of a lace weight yarn. No, it's just no, don't try to do that. Just take my word for it. It's just use the thicker weight for a poncho. Yeah. And then another thing is that there are these tools called it's called a percussive massage. Okay. And it might look a little bit weird if you look it up. But what it is, hey Greg, if you don't mind, could you get mine so I can just show them what it looks like? Because it looks weird. But what it is that you turn it on, and it like kind of vibrates, and it also like it's like it's hard to explain. Okay, so this is it. This is a mini version. Okay, I know it looks kind of weird. but you turn it on and it vibrates. I'm not gonna turn it on, okay? And what I do is that I take it in my hand and in my palm, right here, I massage that right there, and then I massage that, then I massage my forearm, and it really, really helps. These are about $39 on Amazon. This is the Bob and Brad version, if you are familiar with the so-called greatest physical therapists on the internet, because that's their deal. So this is the Bob and Brad version, again about $39, and in if you use this to massage the pads of your thumb and like right here where your knuckles are, it will really get out a lot of that tightness, and it will take care of some of that flare up that you can get when you're working with smaller yards. And then also your forearm as well. That's another area. So if this is what I would recommend to help with that kind of pain, because it really does get the blood flowing a little bit more and all of that, and gets the all of that, like the inflammation is spread so that your body can kind of deal with that better. Drinking a lot of water as well. But I mean, some people just can't work with lighter weight yarns, and I understand that absolutely. um Yes, combining them is also a really good way to be able to use the beautiful colorways that are. Yes, there are exercises too. Sorry, I keep interrupting myself. And I did post some exercises on the channel earlier. Um, I'll go ahead and repost that in my community tab so that you guys can see those too. But yeah, I think the biggest issue is making sure that you have the right hook size and making sure that you have a pattern that works for that thin yarn. So, hi everybody. Hi, those of you who are new. I am going to wrap this up. We've been on here almost an hour. I just want to repeat why I'm here for those of you who have just um, gotten gotten here. So, I just wanted to share that I had mentioned that I had a family issue that I had to deal with, and that as a result, I didn't know when I was going to be able to post. What happened was on Friday during the day, we got a school call, and my a child was having a mental health crisis, and we met with a lot of people, including an assessor. That's somebody who finds out if the person needs intensive care or not. The assessor said that it was kind of right on that borderline, but we decided to go ahead and take her to a hospital, and so she is in that hospital right now. She's adjusting, and she's just getting some more intensive care than we can provide her at home. And that had really stressed us out on Friday this weekend. I am not kidding that like when I got the call, I was doing the video for the sleeve for the cardigan. So like I even have that about halfway done. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that's the issue. And the reason why I'm sharing is that I think that it's important to be open and honest about mental health issues. I think that it's important that we face them and go through them together as a community. I do not want either one of my kids to have to grow up in a world where having to have intensive care like that is something to be ashamed of. I want them both to know that it's okay. It's human, and w- we're going through a lot of emotions around that. Of course, her brother is having some issues too. He misses his sister. Yes, that's right. Stamp out the stigma. People go through this. You'd be surprised with how many families have had to deal with something like this. And or maybe you wouldn't, I don't know. But just know that's what was going on. That's why I was not able to post the videos that I had like kind of promised, and it wasn't something that I could have predicted. She had been struggling, and she's been seeing a therapist for a while, and she even got on some medication, but just wasn't enough for her. She needed to get some really intensive care, so that's where she is right now. It's really heartbreaking, but at the same time, she's getting what she needs. And so we're just really, really glad that she's safe and that she can focus on herself. We're kind of treating it like she needs a vacation, a little break, so she can really focus on herself. And we're really proud of her. And oh, and yeah, she's 15, so she's just that age. I mean, she's right there with puberty. She just started high school, and just you know how it is. She has some issues that had to do with some incidences that happened at school last year, um, with some children that were not nice to her, let's put it that way. And then she was also she also has a little bit of a genetic predisposition to anxiety and depression, so those things are kind of coming out in a storm. So it was kind of like a storm went through, and we were just kind of picking up afterwards. In fact, that's a really, really good metaphor to use. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know. I just wanted to make sure that those of you who had joined later understood that that was the main reason why I'm doing this live, is just to address that, to talk about it, and all of that, and to just get you in the know, and to let you guys know that I'm not ashamed of it, and that it's okay to talk about these things. Any kind of situation where you see somebody with a huge personality change, anybody who is needing a lot of reassurance, anybody who is talking about how maybe things would be better off if they weren't around, that kind of stuff, that's an emergency. Make sure that you're asking some more questions. Make sure that they have the resources they need. And I do have to say, one thing that I'm very, very thankful for is that her high school counselors took it seriously, because I know sometimes that stuff isn't taken seriously, and yeah, that's just terrible. So yes, make sure that you're taking that kind of stuff seriously, making sure that you create an environment where anybody around you knows that it's safe to talk about this stuff. I know it's kind of uncomfortable, and I know that in the past, cultures kind of brushed it under the rug, and those kinds of habits are a little bit hard to change, and maybe that's not something that you personally can change. If you're that kind of person, that's fine. But what I think is that the more we live in a world that we are able to talk about these things, the better off we are, because we can take care of each other better, and make sure that yeah, right, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, seriously, I also have nightmares about high school, and I'm not just saying that. I really do. I completely feel you, Nancy. I really, really do. Um, I don't know. I don't feel inspirational, but if I am, find inspiration with what moves you. Hi, Diana. Um, so anyway, that's it. Just wanted to make sure everybody knew what was going on. My child is in a mental health facility. We're dealing with it. It happened on Friday. We needed to adjust. Um, and I am going to be able to post some videos coming up soon. I'm really excited about my dye video. I've got some really cool ideas for dyeing. I haven't done it yet, but I'm really excited about that. I will be able to get out that cardigan tutorial soon. I'll be able to update my store with a whole bunch of extra stuff. I have some Christmas oriented or holiday oriented, whatever you want to say. I have some stitch markers coming for that time of year too. I've already made them. I just need to take pictures of them and list them. And I think that Greg has that. Yeah, he has that link if you want to go ahead. You want the other dookie. I have an idea for that dookie. We're talking about the yarn that I unboxed today. Um, my chartreuse yarn. So yeah, I needed this chat too. Seriously, you guys. It's so reassuring to see so many people. You guys are really, you're just so nice. You're just so great to me. You have no idea how much your support means to me. And I'm not even just talking about here. Like sometimes you guys leave me comments that just really, really help. And I just want you to know. Ray, we will talk about that. In some personal chats, if you are really into that dookie, we can work something out, but I do have plans for that. And I think that Greg's going to go ahead and give you, oh, thank you so much, Valerie. Oh, thank you. And Greg's going to go ahead and give you a link to my Etsy store just so you know where to look for those beanies that I'm going to be listing and my new stitch markers. But yeah, a lot of us have gone through this kind of stuff. Absolutely. One day at a time. Sometimes it's like 1 minute at a time, but right now it's like 1 hour at a time. But yeah, we're gonna be okay. She's safe where she is, and that's the most important part. All right, guys. So I'm looking forward to doing some more lives with a more. What do you make with? I'm not even going to get into that conversation. So yeah, be looking out for more lives that will be a little bit more upbeat. So, oh, thank you guys so much. You guys are really, really nice. I love the feedback. Keep it coming. I mean, because it helps direct me, even if it's negative feedback. Keep it coming. I do want to say one thing actually. Sometimes when the lights are a little bit lower, in my videos, I have a very strong it's like sensory issues, and when light is too bright it will trigger a meltdown for me with my autism, and I can't be in bright light for too long. I try to record most of my videos during the mornings and afternoons where the light is shining and all of that, but just wanted to give you I just wanted to give you guys that heads up just in case the lighting isn't ideal. That's why. That's why. But I try to make the light. I'm very mindful of the lighting. I try to make it good. All right. So thank you guys so much. I've got to go now. We've got to we've got some phone calls to make and everything. Have a good night, everybody. Yes, and I will see you soon in another video. All right. Bye bye.